Hello.
Did you get your alcohol?
Yes, I did.
Good.
I
You're gonna need
put
it.
it in my cup.
Is everyone ready
let's-
for Cinema
Yes.
Roberto? Okay.
Yes.
Well, alright. I was really hoping we were done with the whole grim and gritty realism thing, and yeah, the director is making an
Sorry, did he paint his door and his door handle green?
It saves having to
Yes.
get a green screen.
No, because
Yeah,
I don't know if this is in and of itself a green screen. Maybe it is.
I mean, I'm assuming that's the point, is that he turns it into a green
I guess. Yeah. But is the image of the green wall and the green door and the green handle, is that
So his
the-
green screen image is a green screen.
You wouldn't even be able
Yeah.
to cut that out. You
Green
need
wall.
it to be one color, like, for this to work well. Otherwise, the doorknob will keep, like, fizzling, if you know what I mean, with the green
And
screen.
also,
Yeah.
as you turn the doorknob to get in and out of the door, you will wipe away the paint and
That's
it will
probably,
get...
that's probably
the
why
closet?
it's not as green as the rest. He's probably got green on his hands for all.
Maybe.
Good start, Bob,
What
but,
are
you know.
really hoping we were done with the whole grim and gritty realism.
And side note, can we end this thing about wearing jackets with a t-shirt underneath? Can we stop that?
I thought that was a
Oh.
thing like 20 years ago.
But-
It's-
Can we not do that? If don't wear a t-shirt and then just put like a blazer or whatever over it? Because that looks stupid.
Oh, no.
well,
Like
he
decide
seems
how
like-
formal you want to be.
He seems like
Please.
quite a portly gentleman, so
you-
I don't know. You want to layer up when you.
Do you
you're
think
built
it's
like
the
that.
socks and sandals of upperwear?
It's
just-
socks and Crocs is what it is. This
Hmm.
is the this is the waist up version of Crocs with socks.
Rags, I disagree. It depends on the person who's wearing it, and I think MovieBob
No one gets
cannot
no one
pull
gets
it
a
off.
pass. No one gets a pass.
Oh,
None of
I
you are
dis-
free of
I-
sin.
I disagree.
Martians are okay because they're not Earthlings. They don't subscribe to our rules, so you're fine.
Marshmans.
Marshman.
Thing, and yeah, the director is making an asshole of himself in the press and social media for no reason, which is never a great sign, but this is
It
a
does.
pretty
Let's poison that well, gents.
Yeah, that well's thoroughly poisoned.
Yeah, let's poison that well.
We got no references. It's just true. Moving on. Okay.
This is like
which
the whole
never
J
a great-
thing. Is like director. The director is like, just review the film, please.
Yeah, you just talk about... No, okay.
So let's talk about the films. Like, no, we can't without talking about what the director said on Twitter.
sign, but this is a pretty interesting idea for a spin-off movie. The trailers have been promising. Joaquin Phoenix looks interesting, and I can see how this would open up the genre to fun and alternative takes and a space for people to really stretch within the studio system. So, yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I'm
Really?
optimistic.
Like, because he just
Let's
said
see
he
what
hoped
you
we
got.
were done with the whole grim and gritty realism type of movie.
When was it ever portrayed as
So, what is
something
it?
other than that?
Why are you looking for coherency in a MovieBob video? What's wrong with you?
Got him.
Joker.
I also hate this part, the transition shit.
Oh, well, he's trying...
Like,
So this opening is a joke. Like, the whole point of it is to make a joke. It's gonna... Once you figure it out, because it's really simple, you're gonna be like, wow, why did you waste our time with this? But, you know...
Yeah, but-
oh boy, this is not working.
It's also not
no.
funny.
Oh boy. Okay, well, but it is technically well made, I guess.
What a
and
douchebag.
I really don't want the internet to be throwing things at me all fucking year, so... Okay, movie. I'm willing to be super generous and let you
Wow.
off with like a 5 out of 10 if you can just get to the
Fucking
end of
Christ.
yourself without having him deliver a big dramatic monologue about society and hypocrisy and all the stuff that the preceding film was supposed to convey but did
What?
not. Deal?
It did, though.
Was supposed
We're,
to
like,
convey,
over-
but didn't.
We're over a minute into an 8.5
5
minute
out of
review.
10.
He's not actually said anything about it yet.
He's getting there.
Why
It's
did
still
I-
in favor of a joke. That's what I mean. Like, you're about to get to the joke. Here it is.
And you did the thing. Okay. Alright, okay. I'll give you one more shot if you can just maintain the courage of your
What?
original convictions that this was a one-off, unconnected, unique little experiment by not throwing in a gratuitous extra
Gratuitous
beat,
extra
leaving the
beat?
back door open to syncing this up if the fanboys
What?
demand it. Well,
No,
shit.
no, like... the
That
sequel
was
thing.
it.
Well,
Did you love the joke?
joke's on you, Bob, because we're not black, so we don't have to laugh at your jokes.
Ah, But,
Yeah,
Is this guy gonna start talking English?
we're about to
I feel
get
like
through
it's
now.
gibberish. I don't know what's going on.
So his intro joke was, "Please don't do all of these things I don't like. You did them. Boo."
Yeah, that was a joke.
It's like, whoa.
In so many quotes, joke. That was the joke.
You guys didn't laugh because you're soulless. That's why.
Yeah. Can we go escape from MovieBob?
Escape from MovieBob.
Do you think you've got a long enough intro there, Bob?
Jesus Christ.
It's like a whole rock song, just like going away.
And
So Joker isn't good.
an intro. An intro can be long so long as it's funny, I think, and none of it is engaging
Well, if
at
it
this
fucking
point.
if
Or
it
if
changes,
your intro isn't a fourth of your video.
Oh yeah.
Like, Rags, your intros are long. Yeah, my videos are 45, 50 an hour long.
15 hours. Did you like his opening? His Joker isn't good. It's just like, oh, okay.
Like, oh,
I got it.
Sorry, I mean, I really am
I forgive
sorry.
you,
I
Bob.
wanted this to be good, both because I sincerely want everything to be good, since the world is kind of miserable
for
and worthless enough on its own the last few years, and it doesn't also need the entertainment to suck, but also I'm just already tired here on day one of the inevitable. Well, you weren't 100% sold on the idea ahead of time, and you said so, which means you were biased. and
straw
paid off by Disney.
man.
Why? None of this is relevant. Get to the actual film.
Yeah,
I don't care what someone said about
running out
you.
of time here. You're running out of time. We got 6 minutes, and I know part of that will probably be an outro. You gotta talk about the film.
For reference,
Yeah.
me and Rags want him to hurry up because we've got so little left. If this is like an hour-long video, I wouldn't really care that
Oh
much.
yeah, that's the thing. This is an 8.5-minute video. We're 2 minutes and 18 seconds in, and he said it's not good.
Still waffling. Yeah.
Marvel
And
things.
the thing is,
framing
like, when you start a video by saying, "Oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to criticize it. I have to tell you that it's shit." Like, that doesn't make your opinion bulletproof. It doesn't mean
No.
people aren't going to push back against it just because you claim you didn't want to say it.
No,
Well,
no,
he's saying
Start
that
the video.
world, he's sorry that it sucked, and because the world is a miserable place. Then why aren't you trying to help, MovieBob? Why are you like subjecting us to this misery? You're
Start the video.
Your thing sucks, and you're contributing to the problem, Bob. You're not helping.
It's the whole YouTuber thing where the video begins and opens up of the person sitting down in the chair that they will be sitting down in for the video, a sigh, and then saying, "I didn't want to make this video."
Bonus points if you have a little doggy. Like,
Yeah.
oofing. Bonus points.
sold on the idea ahead of time, and you said so, which means you were biased and paid off by Disney or whoever, and just want
You
every
think The
movie
Last
to be
Jedi's
one of the
good?
Marvel things framing being applied to myself and every
He
other
thinks
critic. that does-
Ghostbusters was good. Jesus Christ.
Marvel fanboys.
Very wrong about movies. That's the
What?
easiest way to put it.
What do Marvel fanboys have to do with this? How do you rope them into this
I guess
conversation?
if you don't like Joker, that means you're pro Marvel, anti DC. I guess is where you're going with that.
Oh, I haven't even considered that as a concept. Okay.
I think he doesn't know the difference between Marvel and DC, basically.
doesn't fall into line behind what I sincerely accept was a well-intentioned but admirably ambitious misfire already. Now, partly because, the sheer volume of irony involved in being lectured on deciding ahead of time to dislike something by people who already knew they were going to like it is
Move the fuck on. He's still talking about people being mean to him.
He's still wrestling with hypothetical straw men.
It's like,
He
you think
has an
people weren't
intro.
primed to like Suicide Squad? You think people weren't fucking ready to like that and to love it? And look how that turned out. Remember the last film we saw Joker in, MovieBob? Maybe your memory is not that great.
I'd like to point out at this point that he has an intro to his review that already has an intro. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Too many intros.
It's the pre-intro.
Yeah, that was.
It's like
intro.
It's like first breakfast to a hobbit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
is frankly exhausting to cope
It's
with,
about
but also
11
because for a change, and rather surprisingly, Joker turns out to be the sort of bad movie that's bad mostly because it's so empty, unoriginal,
Empty, unoriginal, and boring. Empty, unoriginal, and boring. And how far are we into this EFAP now? And we've been talking nonstop about all the messages in it and all the details and what it's saying.
Well, yeah, but
and
all of those
how
things
TYT
was
is
said.
terrible about it.
Just for context as well, you said that MovieBob thought that Ghostbusters was a good movie,
I think he
and he
did.
criticizes this for being empty, unoriginal, and boring.
Did
like the
Movie Bob
Lost
like
Jedi.
Ghostbusters?
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just one
I-
of you guys said it, and I just assumed
I
that.
will
that
Well,
was
I said
double check.
TLJ.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he did. Like
oh, there
the,
you go.
the,
That's the same thing.
the thumbnail has 2 thumbs up in it. Like,
Oh, God.
okay, we get it.
Fucking Christ.
Well, I just Googled, I just went to YouTube to take a look at his Ghostbusters review. I haven't watched it,
Oh,
but
here we go.
that's the like dislike ratio on it. Pretty grim. 3.9K up, 2.7K down.
Roberto, how
yeah.
could you do this?
But I mean, it's like, you know, I can get that, like, some people will defend TLJ, but almost nobody comes out and says, yeah, Ghostbusters was a good film. I like that. I mean, that's just like next level
That's
bullshit.
bravery
right
right there.
there. Yeah.
Anyway, Stunning and
just-
brave.
I would just love
Like,
him to compare those two films and, like, yeah, this is why I loved Ghostbusters and this is why I hate Joker.
It's like, how is it that he's paid to do movie reviews and he like loves every shitty movie and thinks like all the good movies are terrible? I don't understand. Like, I know it's subjective to a degree and there's a taste element of it, but how can you be so consistently, how can you have such consistent shitty opinions? And this is your job. I thought people paid you to not do that.
Well,
Does he
you'll
just get
find
hate views or?
a lot of comments are like, "I'm always interested to hear your view, even if I disagree." And I'm like, "What is that? What do you mean when you say that? Do you like listening to him tell you it's boring and unoriginal? Why?"
It's maybe just that weird effect of, like, you know, you just listen to his voice, but you don't really take in anything that he's saying. Like, they just kind of like him for whatever reason.
He's the quintessential vapid, empty reviewer.
I've always assumed it's just because he's been around since the fucking beginning, man. Like, I've always known he existed, but his reviews have been terrible this whole time. And he's still going. He hasn't
He's an
evolved.
inspiration.
We're already 2 minutes and 48 seconds into this thing, and he's yet to cite one specific example to support a thesis, or even really to state a thesis other than it's
Yeah,
bad.
we're nearly
So we're going to
running
get
out of
less
time.
than 6 minutes of actual review of this movie.
All right.
Maybe.
That's
Maybe.
incredible.
You're being
yeah, I was
optimistic.
gonna say that's optimistic.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah.
Joker turns out to be the sort of bad movie that's bad mostly because it's so empty, unoriginal, and boring, with so little to actually say after all
Yeah.
the self-insistence that the prospect of being forced to find more things to say about it even a week or two from now sounds like torment.
Here we are.
Here we are. How long has it been since it released?
Wait, guys.
You know, Shakespeare is empty and boring and unoriginal if you're a boob.
Yes.
If you don't get something, of course it's boring. If you don't understand it, yeah, it says more about you,
Yeah.
buddy.
This movie came out
Movie
9
Bob.
days ago. It's over a week. Oh no. We've had interesting things to
Yeah.
say about it over 9 days ago. Oh no.
Movie blob.
Oh yeah.
Movie blob.
Roberto.
That the prospect of being forced to find more things to say about it even a week or two from now sounds like torment. In what's sure to become an infamously condescending press quote, Phillips claimed that he wanted to use Joker as a way to sneak a real movie in the studio system in the guise of
It seems like everybody wants to talk
How
about
is
that
that-
quote.
How's that infamous?
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, and he calls Todd Phillips condescending when he is also a condescending piece of shit. So
Takes one to know
Yeah.
one, I suppose. But I just like the idea. Like, I thought it genuinely to Todd Phillips. I'd be like, when you say real movie, what do you mean? Just can you just develop that? I'm just curious. I'm assuming he's referencing like something that hits closer to home or is a bit more grounded.
A message he
Yeah.
liked. A
And if
movie is a
I-
real movie if it has a message that Bob approves of.
a comic book
There you
film,
go.
but what he's delivered is more like a feature-length equivalent to one of those pop culture mashup t-shirts that you see on sale at the sketchy mall kiosks.
No,
you
I have
know, like-
no idea.
What would the
I have
mashup
no
be?
idea what you're saying.
Joker and
he just says Vegeta and Scarface. And
no. I mean, what would the mashup be in Joker's case? Joker plus.
oh, okay.
Joker plus
Like
Taxi
Taxi
Driver.
Driver,
I'm
if
guessing.
I bought a
Yeah,
Pop Joker
yeah.
t-shirt, what would be on it?
No, he's
Yeah.
saying because he's gonna talk about like I've got a couple of these shits. They're cool. I got like a Jurassic Park one, but with Alien instead on the silhouette. So it's like, and it has LV426. But point being is that he's saying that this movie is like one of those shirts come to life, or at least in a movie, and I'm just like, so
I
what
think
is the
that's what he's
combo?
trying to say.
Yeah, but
It's
what's
like
the combo?
it's almost like he's
Joker
saying this
and
is an
what?
ugly shirt that you'd buy at some store that sells it's pretentious ugly shirts. Irony is not lost on me. But man, he's running out of time.
Well,
He's
At first
very
glance,
ambiguous.
it's the poster for Scarface, but then you look again and it's not Tony Montana, it's like Vegeta, and you go, oh, hey, that's cute. But then if you ask whoever the artist was, like, so is the juxtaposition of like the tormented immigrant's journey corrupted by the 20 years of
you're
American
taking this
racism and
metaphor
capitalism
way
as
too-
embodied in the Scarface narrative with Vegeta's saying,
why did you cut to footage of Joker when you're still talking about Vegeta and Scarface crossovers? Like, what is... What?
Dark Prince to
Again,
husband,
this is-
father,
Again, he's not said anything actually
Yep.
substantive about the movie. He's just like, right, I've got this cool metaphor that I've been waiting ages to level at a movie, and now I'm going to run with it for the next 2 minutes.
Like, how fast we're getting through this video compared to the last one, because nothing's being said.
there's no actual content. We're just kind of breezing through it. This scene right here, while it's paused on this, I just like to say this scene where he is contorting and doing these weird things with his back. It is evocative of two things to me. It was evocative of Travis Bickle, training for his ultimate assault at the end of Taxi Driver, and it also, to me, suggested like a caterpillar in a chrysalis struggling to get out and become his true self, which would be, metamorphosing into the Joker. I thought this was a very interesting visual scene here.
Yeah,
I'd
I
love
don't
to
know
know
if it
how
has
he
any-
did that, because that looks painful. Like, you
Yeah.
see his
Oh,
left
yeah.
arm there, it's like it's been broken and dislocated
Yeah,
or
it's-
something. It
yeah.
just looks so out
Yeah.
of line.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of Viggo Mortensen in The Road.
Mm,
Yeah,
I didn't see that. I
I mean, I definitely got a sense as well of there's like a creep factor to it in terms of just like this man, like he's so broken, and just watching he's wrestling with a fucking shoe, like that's where he's at, and it's just like you all these things coming together. This is where they don't waste any screen time in this film.
no.
Unlike MovieBob.
Beautiful visual metaphor, regardless of how you interpret it. But for MovieBob to say that it's got no ideas and it's boring, and I think it says something about MovieBob's attention span and intellectual acumen or lack thereof.
Lack thereof.
That's the thing I don't get about the critics saying it's boring. That's the weirdest thing I get from the reviews here. It's boring.
It's like-
I
yeah.
don't-
It's like,
Well-
do you know, like, this is what happens when you get invested in a character. You're gripped by what they do. They could be doing
Yeah,
mundane
yeah.
stuff, but like, it's absolutely enthralling because you're so bought into the reality you're seeing. Like, I don't know what MovieBob expects. Like, every time he shoots someone, they explode, or you
Yeah,
know.
He wants Endgame.
Let's compare MovieBob's take, because we've covered MovieBob talking about The Last Jedi. And that man, he is squeezing blood from a stone. He's trying to find every subtext, meta-narrative that he could possibly get from everything he can in The Last Jedi, desperate to make it meaningful and good.
For reference,
And then
right?
you
I
have
was
a
trying to tell
movie-
him like the one that he had about how Rey is supposed to represent fans of the films.
That was, well,
yeah,
that's
that
weird
was-
because I've heard that Kylo is the fanboy too, but
Well, yeah.
also Rey is the true fan of
It-
Star Wars.
Yeah, she's the like coherent normal fan who's trying to reignite the love for a great franchise, while Kylo is the crazy raging fan. Like all of us, basically, we're Kylo.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you look at Joker. Joker comes out on Metacritic. It is 9.3 average user score. The messages are not complex, which is one thing I think that why it's rated so highly. It doesn't try to get
redemption
full of
arc
itself.
supposed to be like mirror.
It doesn't try to get full of itself. It doesn't try to have all the subtext and meta narratives that it really needs to have. It doesn't need any of that stuff. It's got its premise pretty obvious. Audiences understand it. It's executed well. And so the big hoity-toity reviewers like MovieBob, who have to be artsy-fartsy, who have to be super pretentious and look for every little detail, it's almost like they can't fathom the idea that this is a really approachable film that everyone loves. Because
Yeah, it's like it's the
presented
power
so
of
well.
simplicity.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
can't grasp it. The idea that this is a movie people can enjoy is totally lost on him. It's like he doesn't want to associate his love with Joker with all the plebeians who go to the theater like normal.
But it's like he's never seen a movie that was made more than 10 years ago. You know, movies that were well, maybe I'm going a bit further than that, but like character-driven movies that didn't necessarily have a subtext or a theme or anything. It's just like a really interesting character study of a person.
You're not new to
losing
this, right? Like, that's all discussion for films is with a lot of these critics now. It has to be about a theme or a subtext. It can't just be what the film is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it wrong as a critic. You're fucking up if you're not talking about a deep part of it. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything. It's just frustrating that, like, I just talk about what's in it? No? Okay. Yeah, okay. The Joker hates black women. Okay, that's your conclusion. All right.
Yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with looking at subtext in a film that is artistic. But again, I think what they're trying to do is really insert, propaganda into everything. They're trying to even see propaganda in things that don't have any propaganda in them. But, unfortunately, things like Last Jedi and stuff do have propaganda inserted into them. I mean, they really do.
But the difference for them is it's their kind of propaganda. So
Exactly.
They love it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, and they'll talk, as Rags is pointing out, they'll talk infinitely about it in films that they feel are supporting them. But Joker, that's a film with nothing in it. There's nothing really in it. It's boring crap.
It's boring.
And what is in
You
it
can't
is
just
probably
look at
wrong.
it for what it is.
Yeah. They can't see face value. They're
It's
trying
like
to
he's
look for
delusional.
something that's not there.
They don't see artistic value. If a film
Yeah.
isn't a propagandistic statement reinforcing their SJW objectives, then it's not worth mentioning.
It's boring at that point, isn't it? Because what are they supposed to do? Watch the events unfold? Pfft, boring.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, look at
Doesn't have a
Joker.
message. Fuck off.
Joker's got this message that we can all relate to, no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, for the most part, no matter where
Wrong.
you're from or who you are. Is like the idea that we should be nice to people. Some people have it rough, so you should be good to them, and you shouldn't be overboard with your reactions, and you should try to understand people and talk to them. And like, that's a very approachable message for everybody, and it doesn't try to hide that message. It's very obvious, and the fact that MovieBob just can't grasp. First off, of course, MovieBob can't grasp the concept of tolerance for other people who are different from him. But man, it's so simple, and he just can't get it. He's just, you must be something more. There must be something more. It's like, no, that's it. It's simple. It's just executed well.
Yes, I agree.
Demons of American racism and capitalism as embodied in the Scarface narrative, with Vegeta's Saiyan Dark Prince to husband father redemption arc supposed to be like mirroring an ironic or contradictory symbolism. They're like juxtapahoo. So it is with Phillips and Joker, or seemingly, wherein he smashes together the rough plot outlines of the most famous visual beats of Martin Scorsese's Taxi.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
No one
Taxi
else can
Driver
do it anymore.
did-
Taxi Driver did it once, that one time.
Literally, if
else
you
could-
have a film about a man who is just upset, I'm gonna make it that broad. He's upset.
Yeah.
And it's set in the past. It's set in the past, Baller. It has to be set in the past. Therefore, it's Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah, if it's in the past too. Also, your mic is doing the thing again.
Oh wait, I'll leave and come back.
Yeah, it's kind of like, Saving Private Ryan. It did a film about war, so we can't ever have another film about war, ever.
Nope. What else is there? Superhero movies. We can't have more. Oh well, fuck. We've got loads more. So. They're all Iron Man.
But other
damn it.
films did Joker. Yeah, it's just a redo.
It's so boring. Like, we'll have to address a video eventually, going over how it's a quote-unquote rip-off, but I've seen Taxi Driver thoroughly. I know that film very well. It's good shit. I know King of Comedy well. Joker's its own thing. Please stop saying it's a rip-off. Please. And if you're going to say it, please go into detail.
Because if I see
Yes.
Taxi Driver, and I probably will here with you for this video, and it ain't a beat for beat Joker movie, then I will feel as if I might have been lied to.
MovieBob, you lied to us.
Bob was dishonest.
What?
All right.
Rough plot
And also, as
outlines
chat
of the
points
most
out, yeah, his cheekbones are very odd.
He's so
probably
what's
because
happening is
he's like
his
ugly.
he's being
like simultaneously
stretched.
fat. He's like simultaneously fat and gaunt at the same time.
Yeah. So what happened was his face was like dislocated at the jaw, stretched up, and then reattached. I don't know why, but that's what happened.
He looks like one of those old
bad.
Christmas movie puppets, sort of. That just like, but they like retired and they gained a lot of weight and everything.
He
and-
looks like mundane Matt, like 10 years from now.
Oh no.
yeah, sort of. Thank God MovieBob hasn't spawned anything. I don't think.
We don't know. Who knows that? Who knows?
MovieBob's totally an incel. Changed my mind.
No wonder he hates this film.
Oh no, because it was about him.
Wherein he smashes together the rough plot outlines of the most famous visual beats of Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, and also Martin Scorsese's The King of Comedy, complete with Robert De Niro cameo, and plugs a revisionist origin story for an
Is
iconic comic book bad guy into the villain protagonist spot for the ultimate purpose of saying, hey, if Scorsese or somebody had done a Joker movie in 1982, that would have been pretty
But that doesn't mean it's good or bad.
I don't.
Nothing to do with its quality.
That's what I mean. I'm like, I'm waiting for the part where I can respond. I'm like, you're saying stuff that's.
Yeah. This doesn't have anything to do with whether it's good or bad. Like the tweets of the filmmaker or whatever, it doesn't have anything to do with whether the film's good or not. It might, in a meta way, inform something in the film to some degree. Surely, but you're not actually telling me anything about the film here. If I haven't seen The Joker, and I watch this film thinking, oh, maybe I'll learn something about it. No, you won't. You won't learn a damn thing about this film if you watch MovieBob. His time's
We're
half
4
up. And he
minutes
said
and 11
nothing.
seconds in.
I was going to say,
He
we're
hasn't
going to listen
said
to that part
anything,
again,
yeah.
and if anyone wants to say anything about it, go for it. But I think we're just going to go past it because it's just, what do you have to say?
De Niro cameo, and plugs a revisionist origin story for an iconic comic book bad guy into the villain protagonist spot for the ultimate purpose of saying, hey, if Scorsese or somebody had done a Joker movie in 1982, that would have been pretty hardcore, right? And
Doesn't even
not
make
much
sense.
else. The saving grace, yes, is that Joaquin Phoenix is very,
Oh
very
wait.
Like that sentence was like its own self-contained non sequitur of itself. So
Yeah,
good
the common denominator I see about
Oh.
the reviews shitting
The
on
microphone's
the movie.
dead again.
our region is
what?
set to Europe. Maybe we need to go back to good old Singapore.
I don't
Wait,
think that'll
wait.
fix it because it's specific to him.
Wait.
You know, you were saying this is like MovieBob talking slower. Like,
Oh, you
what
don't.
is he normally like?
Oh, dude.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
Is it better now or what?
yes, it is.
Yes, better.
Hello. So
Hello.
the common thing I want to say is that the movies that keep on shitting on the Joker movie, the reviews, they keep saying though that, oh, but Joaquin Phoenix was good in it. It's like,
no one can deny that he did amazing. So
yeah. So it's just, can you appreciate the movie, please? It's just
the
I think
answer is
the
no.
alcohol's-
Also, yeah,
Yeah.
Brinker, I don't recommend it for more than seconds, but he has other videos. I think they're called The Big Picture. He speaks really fast, and it's mind-numbingly insane.
See, it's
Don't
just,
do it.
you know, Yahtzee
think-
can do fast speaking because he's really eloquent and he puts together a good script. But like, you
Yes.
get someone like this who's just going to be spouting nonsense, but it's going to be fast nonsense, so you can make even less sense of it.
It's like the ravings of a lunatic.
We're halfway through and he hasn't said anything about the film. Say something about the
No, but-
film.
Come on,
Rags,
Bob,
he
we
does
believe
say-
in you.
Mahler, he did say something. It copied Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, so it's bad.
I'm not,
That's what he's implying, I think.
I'm not convinced it's a revisionist take on the Joker's origin because I don't feel like we ever really had an origin.
Haven't we got
Like, but that was his
multiple
point.
origins, though? The Joker? Isn't that like part of the Joker's whole shtick is that it's... Because
What
what
if?
I'm getting at is that this universe evolved into a whole bunch of movies. This wouldn't necessarily be the only Joker in this universe. Like, he could die, and then
Oh yeah, absolutely.
someone else could take up the
I
mantle.
I just don't think that this is a Joker movie per se. My ultimate take on this is that it has nothing to do with the Joker. In the movie, they talk about how he was horribly abused as an adopted child, and when they found him, he was chained to a radiator. And it seems to me that a young man in such a horrific state might escape to a world of fantasy, much like Sam Lowry does at the end of Brazil. And you know, maybe he saw Batman, maybe he read a Batman comic book, maybe in this state of delirium and depression, part of his escape was thinking that just like Bruce Wayne was a abused and orphaned young boy in a cruel world, so is he, and maybe he's his brother. And in his semi-lucid state throughout this movie, there might be a politician named Thomas Wayne. Probably has nothing to do with Batman, but he basically confabulates all this stuff. And I don't think that this is a Joker origin story at all. I think this could be the tale of a sad, abused boy who is hallucinating in the Batman mythos some. And that's why I personally would not like to see any kind of sequel to it.
Oh,
I
no
just
sequel.
think
No. It's good as it is.
No, please, no, please, yeah.
And plus, as I said to Mahler earlier, before EFAP, if you have no idea who Batman is, who the Joker is, who the DC comic books are, and what they do, and the characters in it, you could walk right into Joker and get everything that it was trying to say.
Yeah.
You don't need any kind of comic.
As for the whole sequel thing, it's better than like everything in the DCEU, which is the only reason why I'm like,
Yes.
What? Better than Aquaman?
Oh my God, heresy, Mahler.
Aquaman, how could you say that? But I get
I
it.
want to see I want to see Joaquin Phoenix fight Aquaman in the streets of
That was
Can we
be
address the
incredible.
common
Please do
criticism that people say a shot against this movie is that this Joker couldn't possibly defeat Batman? It's such a
Batman's
strange...
like 12 years old.
It's like a
so
strange as fuck criticism. He's like, okay. I don't know.
Sure, well, he's not
No,
trying to
because-
fight Batman. Like Batman doesn't exist yet.
I don't know
Yeah,
what to
it's
say. You know what I mean?
exactly-
Like, it leaves me bewildered. I'm like,
like, what do you say to
sure.
that?
But yeah, I get, as crazy as this sounds, I'm like, I don't know. I would like to see more of this content. It doesn't have to be a DCU. Just, Todd Phillips, go make more
You
good
can-
films. Go make more good
Where
films.
it's like use the comic books and the characters as inspiration to tell stories, not hardline fastening yourself to the characters within those comic books.
Because
Like, go
I
for it.
understand that a sequel could destroy everything, or it could almost homogenize it into, like, it basically, you take the cool new thing and then you just make it everything, and you're like, oh, because you could foresee this horrible future where Marvel have their format and then this is the format for DC or something, and they just, you know, but
Well, I think you can't possibly ever integrate this into the DCU.
Yeah.
Like,
which is why I
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
I kind of
But
want
it
them
could-
to
it
do
could
it
form its
over,
own.
and somehow I don't know how to start with this exactly, but I want to be into a set of DC movies. I want to like them. I want to be like, ooh, a new DC movie. How wonderful! Instead of, okay, everyone, get your alcohol ready. This is gonna be funny.
Right.
Because like Marvel,
Get ready to save Martha.
Marvel is a gamble right now, and it's like the odds are going lower and lower. It seems.
Yeah.
But DC, it's like, oh yeah, God, Aquaman 2 is gonna. Ooh, I don't know. It's just like, oh, I don't.
Well, I think fundamentally it's that thing of like you're never going to out Marvel, and so that's
this point,
where
no.
DC has fallen so short. They've
They,
tried to copy that formula, and it's just been a disaster. But then you get
Do your own
really
thing.
interesting different movies like this, and you
Yeah.
think, cool, like you can just create a string of unrelated movies that just explore really interesting facets of the superhero genre without being, tied into all the conventions of it. You can do
Yeah.
interesting things like that, and it doesn't have to form a larger interconnected universe. You can just tell interesting standalone stories if you want to.
Try,
Yeah, very much like the Elseworlds, line in comics, things that are outside of canon. But ultimately, really what I would like to see is the studio learn their lesson and go ahead and give filmmakers $40 million, $50 million budgets and entrust
Do
the
what they want.
project to writers and directors with passion
Yeah.
and see what happens. All of a sudden, your profits go through the roof when you actually had a story to tell by people who love to tell stories instead of cronies and flunkies and affirmative hires like Jar Jar Abrams and Ruin Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy and all these privileged fucks that got in there not by dint of talent but by connections and whose nephew they are. That would be a huge, huge improvement for American cinema and audiences everywhere.
You know what the tragedy would be? The lesson that they get from Joker is, oh, we gotta set it in the 80s and make it dark and
Yeah,
gritty and
they're gonna
shitty.
get some weird set of rules
Yeah.
from this. Like, you have
Right.
to have a Robert De Niro. You're like, well, no.
No.
Robert De Niro has to be shot in the head at the end of this movie.
No,
That's-
listen, it's very simple.
He's the
That's it.
Kenny of the DC universe. He keeps
No,
dying.
he's the Stan Lee of like
Yeah.
he's got a role
Yeah.
in every single movie.
Another Robert De Niro cameo where he just gets murdered again.
That's it. Money in the bank, baby.
He's the Sean Bean of the DC.
You know, if you told me there were 8 movies in a theoretical DCU that came from the Joker when Robert De Niro gets shot in the head in all of them, I'd be like, I'll watch it. That sounds funny as fuck.
How's it gonna happen this time?
He's like, whenever he's introduced in like a theoretical Aquaman, he's like, hello, my name is. He was like, oh my god, there he is. He's gonna get shot again.
Or he's gonna walk
gonna
into
get
the propellers of a ship or something. Just a different
Or
death
just
every time.
randomly a giraffe falls on him while he's walking down the street. Just these most outlandish, crazy, nonsensical things. Aquaman hits him with a
There you go,
trident.
DC. We're not gonna patent it. Take our ideas. Go for it.
Yeah, you can have that one for free. Go for it. If you do it, that'll be
Is
its
a
own
gold
reward.
mine.
hardcore, right? And not much else. The saving grace, yes, is that Joaquin Phoenix is very, very good here. I'm not necessarily sure that it rates as one of his all-time great performances, especially recently, but he clearly came to play, and it's all the more impressive when you realize that there actually isn't that much on the page for him to work with.
Jay said that as well.
Such a fucking turd. Jesus Christ.
What?
They do this thing where they're like, he was good, which is pretty impressive considering how much he had to work with.
Like, I can't get that. Like,
I don't get it either.
the actions that Joaquin Phoenix took from the script, that was from the script, right? That's what he acted out. So I can't see why they're saying he's undercooked or underwritten.
Is it a criticism of the dialogue? Because I have heard that about this movie.
Oh.
Like, some people feel like the dialogue's not particularly polished. And my argument would be it's not meant to be. Like, real people, when they talk to each other, they don't have some insanely clever like monologue to deliver every time. You know,
Yep.
when he gives his speech on TV, it's kind of stumbling and it's a bit awkward, and he doesn't always nail it as perfectly as you would if you'd gone away and written a script for 2 weeks beforehand. But that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be realistic. It's meant to be believable. It's meant to be how a real person with his issues would express themselves. Like, I don't know if I don't know if they're just missing the point on that one, but like that's the way I took it.
And that's a good point about the dialogue, but I would also say that the parts where he says that, what did they want him to say? Oh, I'm feeling sad now, but you could see it in his performance, right? It's so
No,
weird.
he needs to have a big tattoo on his face that says damage.
Whose idea was that? Like, I guess they thought it was ironic. They were
was
like,
clever.
Did you hear that Jared Leto was really upset that they went with Joaquin Phoenix? Because he would have nailed this performance, I'm sure.
No, yeah.
The thing is, Jared Leto is one of those actors, though. Like, they're in the category of like Leonardo DiCaprio and Joaquin Phoenix and these people who play all kinds of different characters. And you're like, he's probably like, I could have done this. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, okay?
I don't know, man. That's a big risk.
So,
You've been
I'm willing.
You'll never get away from that. You know.
I'm willing to accept it was a combo of the script and the director that ruined it for him, but it's been done. It's on screen. It's out there now. That was your Joker. I'm sorry.
The best role that Jared Leto has was in Fight Club, where he gets the shit beaten out of him. That was his best role.
Would you pick that over Joker and Suicide Squad? What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was clearly
yeah,
the
of
best
course,
role.
Yeah, of course.
do you like how actors want to reinvent the Joker laugh all the time? They're always like, I want to do something new. He kind of does in this, and I quite like it. It's very unnerving, his laugh in this film.
I think the Joker will become the Hamlet of the Hollywood crowd. Like, it's gonna be the thing that defines your career, like as an actor.
Everyone's got to play Joker eventually.
Yeah. It's gonna be a thing.
You know what's great about Joaquin Phoenix when he's doing his laugh is that pretty much every time he does it, you can see from his eyes that he desperately doesn't want to be doing it.
Oh yeah.
It's that involuntary laugh that he's got going on, and like most of the time, like when he's on the subway with the drunk guys, he's almost crying.
Yeah,
when he's
yeah,
doing
because
it,
he doesn't
and
want to
you
do
can
it.
see,
Yeah.
you can see he's desperately trying to silence himself, but he can't help himself, and it just gives it that
Yeah.
brilliant, like, tragic edge to it.
In the comedy club
Or
where
like
he's
in Thomas
laughing
Wayne.
and he's looking around, like, this is the funny part, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
like,
was
'cause
sad,
he
actually,
almost
yeah.
kind of chokes on it, doesn't he? At times when he's trying to
Yeah.
stifle it, and he laughs, and he's like, he can't breathe properly and stuff, and you just feel like absolutely horrific for him.
Oh, when he's trying to tell his jokes at first, he just starts laughing. I was like, oh man, it doesn't even matter if your jokes are bad at this point, because you're fucking up. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joker
No,
is
but
a
he's
series-
underwritten, guys.
Well, all
Obviously.
we just commented on is almost what you could call acting elements, right? But I'd still the script is so fucking strong; it allows him to
Yep.
have all these detailed moments in there as well.
Yes. He's not getting it from a vacuum, you
No.
know. It's so
No, it actually is I think purposely underwritten because that gives a great actor like Joaquin Phoenix the room to breathe and
Oh.
explore, and he can actually inhabit the role, not slave to any particular lengthy dialogue exchanges. I mean, it really is like, okay, dude, run with it, and he does.
go for it. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's a bizarre comment to me when you take a movie that's essentially what we'd call a character study and then make a claim of the character was underwritten. It's like, all of the writing is essentially to support his character. So, okay, would you like to explore in detail what you mean by this? Because I'm a little bit confused already. But I don't think Jay really went into detail when he said it, and I don't think MovieBob will either, because
No, he won't.
in them I don't know.
This, especially recently, but he clearly came to play, and it's all the more impressive when you realize that there actually isn't that much on the page for him to work with. Joker is a series of scenes and ideas and mood moments borrowed from other movies, comic panels, and bits of media that are meant to remind us of.
Okay, with that criteria, what isn't?
I was about to say, you could make a lot out of what he just said. If you borrow
Like-
from comic panels, different movies, great moments, and construct something, it's like, yeah, you could probably make something pretty good.
Oh, this is from Taxi Driver. Oh, this is from the Iliad. Oh, this is from Star Wars. Oh, this is from the Atlas Shrugged. Fucking everything is repurposed something from something else. If you want to examine it and look at the scene, oh, this is like the countertop for that one movie. It's like fuck off. You could do this with everything. It's the
Yeah.
most meaningless thing to say.
You
Yeah.
know what else you could do? You know what
Yeah,
else
that's
you
how
could do
human
with it?
beings create. I mean, none of us have
Yeah.
the power of spontaneous creation. Every single human act of creation is taking other things and putting them back together in interesting ways. I mean, look at
Make it your own.
chimeras and
Michelangelo,
hippogriffs, in
fucking
mythology.
What's the saying? Like, we stand on the shoulders of giants or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else you could do with comic panels from other media? Batman
them in
versus
Bob's mouth.
Superman.
Shut him up.
It's such a strange, like, indictment. It's like, you took inspiration from all these things. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I
does
think-
every movie, yeah.
Well,
think
I
Todd
imagine
Phillips elevated it. Yeah.
all five of us would be able to list off probably like 5 different creators that influenced us before we got started as YouTubers.
Red Letter Media.
MovieBob.
Yeah.
Cinema Roberto, Patrick Williams.
It was my inspiration to make good content.
Exactly.
Yeah. Patrick Williams. Yeah.
Remind us
He's
of
like
what
number
those
one.
were about and rekindle those feelings via transitive property, but it's not really about anything coherent in and of itself. So
What do you? It's not about anything coherent in and of itself.
See, if he was a good reviewer and he actually put any sort of effort into his videos, he would be like, right, I'm going to list some of these iconic scenes from the movies and I'm going to show you exactly how it matches up with other things that have been done before.
That would give us a
But
lot of
require
value
effort
for a
and
video.
research.
Yeah.
That would require effort. That's just MovieBob his description. You're like, yeah.
Well, you
but
know what
that would
happens,
require
right?
effort.
You call them out, and then they go, "Dude, it's my opinion. Fuck off." Like, but
Like,
All right,
your
you're piece of
opinion,
shit then.
your opinion lacks supporting evidence. You just said it.
yeah.
And if you don't want to try and convince me of your opinion, then it's like, well, then why should I care? If you don't care, why should I?
Yeah.
If you just want to use this as a mouthpiece, not to try and convince anyone or change minds or to show some level of conviction in what you actually think, then why should I give you the time of day?
And so,
Yeah, is it just the case that you get to his sort of level and you're just like, yeah, I don't have to justify anything that I say now. I can just
Well,
say it
no.
and people should believe me.
MovieBob is just I want to talk.
It's a movie about city clowns intended for the mentally ill. Yeah, I was gonna say, by the way, so if someone said like let's just say I'm a different person right now, and I'm like, yeah, his character, like, there's nothing in it in the film, and you four are like, can you explain what you mean? And I go, well, it's just my opinion. I'm assuming you can respect that, right? What do you do then? You just give up?
It's like I don't really respect the opinion. No, if it's not justified, then I have no reason to respect it. And if I'm not concerned with hurting your opinion's feelings.
Your opinion's feelings. It's like this dab sock with a smiley face on it, like shitty opinion. And you say a bunch of shit, and it turns to a sad face. Like, well, I'm sorry, you're just worthless anyway. But yeah, like, just you make these claims that surely can be provable one way or another with sufficient evidence, and they just give up. And if someone said to me like, "Oh, I don't like debate," I'd be like, "Oh, that's one thing." But like, are you thinking of references when you make these conclusions, or is it literally just something you felt? You just felt that he was underwritten. And like, isn't that?
I can just say that you can just say that it's my opinion that your opinion's shit. It's like, well, now what?
Yeah, respect my opinion.
Respect my opinion.
Got him.
And then what if person B says, well, it's in my opinion that he was overwritten, and then the third guy's like, it's my opinion that he was perfectly balanced. Now what happens? All three of them are like, I respect your opinion. Like, all right,
why
guys.
did we show the shortest conversations ever? Like,
yeah,
you hit your end point right there.
Yeah, that's not a conversation. That's just you listen to me talk.
It's my opinion that Joker's hair is really blue. Prove me wrong.
But it's green, Doomcock. It's on the
I think it's blue. That's my opinion. So.
It's his opinion. Respect his opinion.
You better. Yeah.
Colors are just a product of society. It's just a construct.
We all live in a color.
Those feelings via transitive property, but it's not really about anything coherent in and of itself. So the fact that Phoenix makes Arthur Fleck feel like a consistent character is quite a feat, considering the film isn't giving him anything to work with beyond.
He needs to be extremely consistent, like a real mentally ill person.
But he is consistent.
Yeah,
he's consistently ill. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very consistent with his issue.
Yeah.
The pieces of information we get about him all build as the film progresses, so...
What an interesting one.
Like, it's pretty... Like, we've talked about this, I think it was the last EFAP, about how, like, if a film is predictable, there's nothing wrong with that. If it builds nice and logically, if everything makes sense, like, it's all good. And, like, I feel like Joker could fall into that category, especially with people saying, like, I predicted the girlfriend wasn't real. It's like, okay.
All right. Yeah, there are probably reasons why you were able to predict that, because in most films, you don't just randomly predict that a person that someone meets is a hallucination they're fabricating.
Yeah, and this is the thing, you full, like, benefit of the doubt. Someone says, like, oh, he's pretty inconsistent, and, that's surprising, even the fact they've given barely anything to work with. I'd be like, oh, so you probably got references for that, right? Because that's a pretty interesting conclusion to come to without any thought about what happens in the film. So what are they? But he's going to move on to, like, his next point, probably. Talk about some of these things,
feel
please.
Like consistent character is quite a feat, considering the film isn't giving him anything to work with beyond, okay, now here you're Travis Bickle. Now you're Dee Fens from Falling Down. Now you're Lester Burnham. Now you're the guy from Fight Club. Okay, now you're the other guy from Fight Club.
What the fuck?
Pause.
You're just taking really, like, vague connections and applying that to him.
Yeah, what scenes to each of these people or each of these connections being linked with? And how and in what way?
It's the most tenuous, like, they're all kind of archetypes of this, like, wronged man that's been outcast from society, and he's like, yeah, that just means he's a copy of them. It's like they're vaguely in the same bracket of archetypes, but, like, what has that got to do with it? Like,
at this level of vagueness, it's not even worth drawing a connection.
Yeah.
Like, also, the Fight Club reference also is like, I love that movie, and nothing in Joker reminds me of Fight Club. Like, maybe the grimminess of it, but, like, the character, no.
Well, take a hero's journey for anyone and be like, oh, this is just like Luke Skywalker. You'd be like, is it? Is it, or are you just recognizing someone who goes on a journey that has what you could call similar beats? Like, Jesus Christ, there's more than one version of a character.
Yeah.
You said archetype.
And also, also the fact that I think MovieBob is stroking his ego a bit. Like, I know these movies. That makes me so smart, guys. Like,
yeah.
I get that vibe.
Appeal to authority, like
It's like Patrick Willems.
because he's citing a authoritative.
It seems an awful like he's almost heard from somewhere that like there's similarities here to Taxi Driver, and he's like, okay, how many things can I list that this is similar to? He's really hit upon this idea that like it's different. It must be a copy of something else. So I'm just going to find all the things that are similar to it.
You didn't mention King of Comedy there. You should have. That's the one more box to check to make sure he shows up to the I've seen films club, but that's not the interesting part.
He doesn't actually.
Yeah, the interesting part is to show us how.
Any data to support. Well, in what way? Like in my review, I said, well, I think it's very evident that Todd Phillips is working on a very meta level because in The King of Comedy, De Niro plays a failed comic who is basically abducting this talk show host in order to get on his show. And so by putting De Niro in that talk show host role and reversing it, then that actually is an interesting awareness of A, Scorsese's career, and B, an intelligent inversion of that trope.
Somewhat of a neat thing for people who've watched King of Comedy to see Robert De Niro have his own talk show at that point, at that age. You'd be like, did it work out for him? Is it like you could interpret it that way?
It could be, but the thing is, it's pointing to actual specifics to support the shite that you're spewing. Essentially, he's just rambling on. This is completely vacuous. This has no content to it, and it's boring. It's sad.
Well, yeah, without specifics or references, this is no different than me being like, well, Harry Potter ripped off Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You're like, how? And I'm like, isn't it obvious?
There's my opinion.
The story of a hero that has a great weight on his shoulders that nobody necessarily believes in, that people rally around and becomes a symbol.
There's
got magic in it.
And
there's an evil bad guy who was once vanquished, but now he is returning, and the good guys have to stop him from gaining his full power. Oh my god!
It's pretty much the same movie. It's like, can you actually spot the difference? Just tell me one different thing. Go. I'll do it.
Hogwarts, Middle Earth?
Duh, it's
well, obviously same. Hogwarts is Helm's Deep, idiot. Jesus.
Yeah, because they defend it at some point, obviously.
And then, like,
I think
Hagrid's house,
just like Minas Tirith.
Hagrid's house is Minas Tirith.
We gotta get that guy back who had just a complete hard-on for the Battle of Helm's Deep. He's like, why isn't Endgame like that?
Okay, now you're the other guy from Fight Club. Now at least 3 different Sam Rockwell movies. Now officially, Fleck is supposed to be a luckless rent-a-clown and wannabe stand-up comic suffering from an unnamed but seemingly inspired by pseudo-bulbar affect mental illness that causes him to break out laughing at inappropriate times, struggling through a miserable existence, caring for his sick mother and daydreaming of appearing on
I thought you said that there was like nothing in this. You just described like a shit ton about his life. Also,
we spent 5 minutes and 10 seconds on nothing and then 7 seconds on a plot synopsis. So, you weigh it up, you be the judge. I don't know.
I was gonna say we're all about structure at EFAP a lot of the time in terms of like how videos are structured. We often review them in that way as well. I would never want to build a video like Bob does, where it's just rambling until you suddenly vomit the plot in 10 seconds. And then you're just like, all right, now time to talk about something else. You're like, what the fuck was that?
What I want to know is why is MovieBob using porno movie music?
Well, it's actually it's funnier than that.
I mean,
isn't it the theme from
the only music I need is the clapping of cheeks.
Mount Your Friends?
I don't know. It sounds like porn movie.
Have you guys ever played Mount Your Friends?
I've lived it.
So Mount Your Friends is a game where you play as a bunch of men wearing like essentially just very thin pants sort of thing. And you have to connect each other all the way up in like a big tower. I'm pretty sure this is the theme music from that. So like, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's like royalty-free music, and that Mount Your Friends uses it as well. That's the only way I could explain that. But interesting choice, and I could totally imagine that Bob likes to play that
Just
game.
listen to it. Just listen to it as we go.
I don't want to imagine Bob in like thin pants really.
Mm.
It's
Hey, as long as
anything.
you got pants on, man. My bar's low for MovieBob.
Very
someone
low.
said, "Oh, how do you know this?" Well, it was a fun game to play with friends, especially with drinks. It's fucking insane. Not like in real life. But, also, yeah, someone said they're called thongs.
who would mount their friends in real life? Right, guys? right?
Oh,
All right?
banana hammocks.
Guys?
I think that's what they're actually called, right? Banana hammocks. That's
Banana
the
hammocks?
the
Yeah, I've
item
heard
of
that.
clothing.
That's
Banana hammocks.
I'm
The
sorry
talk show
I
hosted
asked.
by De Niro's character in a crime-ridden 1980s Gotham City, where a crippling garbage strike has inspired tone-deaf billionaire Thomas Wayne to run for mayor on an only I can fix it because I'm rich platform. But when Arthur loses his cool and murders a trio of Wall Street types who were bullying him on the
I wouldn't say he lost his cool. It was self-defense,
defended him.
and then
Yeah, they weren't just
Like, it was
bullying
a
him; they were like
desperate
beating him
moment.
to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a desperate moment. It's
I
not
mean,
like
you could argue that like when he executed the third guy, that was
Yeah, that
unnecessary.
was
yeah. That was calculated.
that was absolutely unnecessary. But like we're watching this play out, and that's still a point in the film where you're like, all right, go Arthur. And then there's that last guy, and we're like, oh, Arthur, no.
yeah, we're like,
Oh.
I don't know about that.
Oh, no, that's not how this works.
But then he lets the midget go, and you're like, "Yay, Arthur!"
Yeah, there's-
Arthur, the hero of the people, the hero of
The
the
hero
society.
we need.
the hero of the midgets. I will be your new god.
murders a trio of Wall Street types who were bullying him on the subway, it creates an urban legend of killer clown vigilantes stalking Gotham's wealthy 1% that spawns a clown mask class-conscious protest movement that begins to engulf the entire city. At the same time, dark revelations about his own past, possibly involving Thomas Wayne himself, push Arthur over the edge and toward adopting the mantle of the Joker to continue adopting the mantle of the Joker, basically. It's not really a movie with
That's
much
an
of
origin story, Bob.
So we simultaneously have TYT talking about his incredible master plans, and then we have MovieBob talking about how there is no master plan and he just does whatever.
Is he?
Because like I say, when something's really good and you don't see that it's good, a lot of the times there will be inconsistent commentary on why it's not good if it is good.
Seem to get is Bob confused as to there seems to be like an element he's missing because he was summarizing it and then he sort of trailed off and I'm like, wait, where did you get lost? Happened.
Joker to
And also, I don't get the idea that
continue adopting the mantle of the Joker, basically. It's not
Yeah,
really a
continues
movie
being
with
something
much of
that he's
an
turned
endgame or
into.
a point,
Yeah.
though it definitely
Yes.
thinks it has several points and proudly shows this off well before we get to the moment of the Joker literally and metatextually lecturing the audience about the truth.
Metatextually.
What the fuck does metatextually mean?
like he's talking to the
That's like an
audience.
adjacent
I-
sub-narrative.
Like, get it, guys. I know meta.
I have genuinely never heard that word in my life.
That's because you're a
Metatextually.
stupid normalman. You're not a big.
I haven't ascended to
normal
MovieBob's like intellectual powerhouse level.
One
Yeah.
day, when you're older, you'll understand. When you're older and fatter, you'll understand exactly what that
You gotta
means.
gain weight before you understand.
You have to
Yeah,
gain
yeah.
weight. If you gain weight, that means your brain gets bigger too.
Like, so instead of just saying like, it spoke to the audience, like that line, those lines, or Joker himself, Arthur spoke to the audience. He says like the lines are addressing Gotham and metatextually. And it's just like, why did you need that word? Did you just want to say that word? What was the other one he says a lot? Like meta narrative. That's another one he
Adjacent,
says.
Meta-narrative.
adjacent meta narratives.
A point, though it definitely thinks it has several points and proudly shows this off well before we get to the moment of the Joker literally and metatextually lecturing the audience about the true function of comedy and the fact that society...
The
we
true
live in
function
one
of
those,
comedy.
Did you know?
What is the true
The
function
true
of
function
comedy?
of comedy.
No, I think
What
if,
does Joker
if
say?
anything,
That, is he
Yeah.
fastening on to that one line about people being the gatekeepers of comedy? Like, if that's
Yeah.
what he took from Arthur's speech
Rant.
on the talk
Well-
show, he has missed about 90% of what he said.
Well, MovieBob is infamous for trying to do funny.
Well, literally the fucking beginning of this video was a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a 1.5 hour minute joke.
we got evidence for that, unlike Bob here. So
You have
No, Bob,
references.
don't say it as if you're talking to yourself before you finish the draft. Like, this is the final cut that's going to be in your video. Put a little bit of fucking, effort into it.
Yeah. Jesus.
I don't
Just a
get as
wee
well.
bit.
Textually lecturing the audience about the true function of comedy and the fact that society, hey, we live in one of those, did you know? Being truly to blame for him being him, which
That's clever,
frustratingly isn't even supported by the text of the plot. In fact, if Joker
not?
does
Oh, wait, pause here. Listen to this part, guys, because this part is just so good. Just listen to this part.
What did you say wasn't supported by the text of the plot?
The message of the Joker. Which is
Being
totally fucking... He
Basically,
didn't
him
say
being
that
made
also.
into the Joker, which of course it
Yeah.
does. I
does.
pointed that out earlier in this very
Wasn't
video,
the-
so maybe if he watches this, he'll learn something. I don't know.
I'm trying to crack his formula because he speaks in run-on sentences, and so you try to pick a beginning and end. You know what I mean?
Well, Bob
Yeah.
doesn't judge
Did you know-
movies based on their quality. He judges them based on whether or not he likes the message.
Which, yeah. pretty much.
being truly to blame for him being him, which frustratingly isn't even supported by the text of the plot. In fact, if Joker does
When you
have
say
a
text of the
coherent-
plot, do you mean literally like the script? The text?
I think he means
Yeah.
the content of the movie.
See, a
lines?
normal person would say the plot. Because he's a
Yeah.
fucking massive, he says the text of the plot.
Because text implies like writing.
Well, you know how people talk
Lines.
about subtext? Obviously, there has
Yeah,
to be
but
a
that's, like,
text for
almost
subtext.
different.
So the text is just what happens, basically.
Surely that's the entire through line of the movie, though, isn't it? Surely, like in this case, it's like a guy who gets ignored by society, doesn't get any of the help that he needs, a vulnerable man who ultimately gets pushed to breaking point and snaps. That's the entire text of the film. That's his character arc, and he's saying that doesn't support him becoming Joker. Like that.
It's not complicated. It really
how
isn't.
do you
Like,
even make that assessment?
everyone gets it. It's like, how does every normie gets this film and they love it? This is being almost universally praised by fucking people whose opinions matter, basically.
normal
But how is it
people.
that, like, how do critics I just don't get it. Like, reminder to everybody, Batwoman is rated higher by critics than Joker.
That's crazy.
Just as a reminder.
Because it's smashing the patriarchy. Don't you understand? There's so much more at stake.
frustratingly isn't even supported by the text of the plot. In fact, if Joker does have a coherent thematic or moral arc to call its own, it doesn't, but if it did, it would boil down to Fleck's journey of self-actualization through realizing that while society can be tough, the real cause of all of your problems is probably a woman. But
What?
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish.
How come?
Let him finish.
What?
Let him finish, Rags. Let him finish.
This is going to build up to something
Okay,
incredible.
all right.
I can feel it.
Doing this, I'm
Let
doing
him
this for
finish,
you.
Let him finish.
that's because this is a movie that's only constructed to confer a
There
sense
it
of
is.
meaningfulness and depth on its
Did
subject
you get
by
that?
borrowing
Did you get
these
that, guys?
Okay, translate for me. What did you just say?
Everything that caused Arthur to snap was because of a girl. That's what MovieBob said.
Is that legit what he said?
Yes,
I think
We missed the word that he said right there.
probably a woman.
Just
That's what
replay
he
that
said.
whole.
We're replaying
thing.
this. We're doing it. We're going back.
Replay it.
does
Replay
have
it.
a
Replay
coherent
it.
Here we go.
Listen.
arc to call its own.
Receptacle.
It doesn't, but if it did, it would boil down to Fleck's journey of self-actualization through realizing that while society can be tough, the real cause of all of your problems is probably a woman. But because this is a movie that's only constructed to confer a
I
sense of
am just. I am baffled. I am absolutely at a loss.
Completely
There it is.
asinine.
don't
Absolutely
even-
groundless. No evidence to support it.
Do
I think-
people who review this movie like watch it?
I don't think so.
It's been like I don't know if this has happened on EFAP before, but like my mouth is just open for
I'm
like
just,
a good 10
I have
seconds. I'm like,
no idea. It's like he's an alien speaking some intergalactic language I don't understand.
Like,
How
Yeah,
could
go
you
ahead, Ray.
even begin to think that?
I think what he's trying to say, like, let's give Bob some like 5% credit. Like the thing that made Joker snap, the thing that made Joker who he is was the mother who lied to him. But I think that's just, if anything, that's like
Just
the
the straw that
tipping
broke
point.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
another thing.
Yeah.
Another
there's-
brick in the
there's
wall,
more
one
bricks.
might say.
she is a character. She's not just woman.
It's
She's-
like, yeah,
yeah,
she has
exactly.
Why do they, like, black people and women have to be fucking perfect? Like, you can't
Like-
have a minority, you can't have a female do anything bad or anything nefarious or mess up in any way, because if you say that, well, that means you're trying to make some subtextual meta-narrative such and such about femininity or minorities, or you can't, like, what if I told you bad people can be women and men? What if
No,
anyone
no,
could
no,
be
no.
shit?
That's not possible. The Star Wars movies have taught me that.
This is insane.
Confidently.